I don't know what's going on, guys. I have never waited in traffic like this here before. I pull out, I make a right on, this is Water Street, I go down to the bridge, I make a left, I go across the bridge, and I'm home in 20 minutes. So I don't know if something's up with the bridge, if they're down to one lane or what, but it's totally jacked. I've got windows down, I've got the heater off, no heated seats on it, 64, but it's very pleasant. So I'm enjoying that today on Monday, and that's about all I'm enjoying today.
Have you ever seen
Both classes sucked. I have an exam tomorrow that's going to take hours of prep work tonight to do well on tomorrow. This is finding zeros of 4, 5, 6, 7, 8th degree polynomials. You know, you can really train yourself to do anything if you try hard enough, and I believe that. But in order to try hard enough, you have to really be motivated. And I'm not motivated. I'm really not. I'm going to come out right now and say that I really don't care. I don't see myself going into a career where I go to work every day and sit down and solve polynomials, 8th degree polynomials. What is the practical application of solving 8th degree polynomials? Is there one? Because I mean, they don't even talk about that. I remember back in high school or even earlier college, they would talk about the practical application and why we're learning what we are. They don't even try with that anymore. They just say, here's an 8th degree polynomial, graph it by hand, find 8 zeros, and irrational numbers. There's something that pisses me off. Math is a science. There are not irrational, imaginary, I guess they're imaginary numbers, not irrational numbers. Irrational numbers are different. Imaginary numbers. You can't have something that's imaginary. It's either there or it's not. What the f does an imaginary number have to do with anything? That's not scientific. That should be something to do with religion, all that imaginary stuff. There's a whole nother topic. Let's not dig into that, and I'm sorry for any toes I stepped on. This is about to get a lot worse, guys. We got a train coming through that's gonna cock the bridge over. Son of a bitch. So that train never even made it to the crossing, but it got close enough that whatever the sensor is, a weight sensor or whatever, makes these gates go down and the lights flash, went for about 10 minutes because he was that close. Are we so stupid with railroading now that when a conductor knows, or I don't know how this shit works, but these people should. When you aren't gonna cross the tracks, put the gates back up. Look at this. Huge traffic problems now. The entire city of Kent downtown has got to be totally cocked over because some freaking idiot over here doesn't know how to do his job. Sorry guys, I am pissed. Really pissed off today. Well, we've been at it already. Got the yard mowed. It's about 3:30. Helped definitely blowing those leaves yesterday. Mowed most of them off, and I just picked up about 10,000 by hand. But it looks good. I didn't take off much grass anymore. Mostly just leaf debris now. And it hasn't really even begun yet. There's going to be a big mess here in the upcoming weeks. So anyhow, I think that's going to be it for the yard work today. It was supposed to rain. Stormy, be nasty today, but it's not. It's like 72. It's quite comfortable out here in shorts. So I'm gonna head in now, get something to eat, as I'm very hungry, and proceed on with the day. So Jake, I think it was you that told me you weren't surprised when I was buying more car parts. You're like, yeah, he's never done. Well, you're right. And I guess I should have been clearer. That when I said I was gonna stop buying car parts, I meant like doing big jobs. But small jobs turn into big jobs, unfortunately. But you know, I meant I wasn't going to do the brakes, the front rotors or pads or the fluid flush until spring, and those are still my plans. But I did just make or add 3 parts to the order. Actually, I split it up into 2 orders. The firewall trim, those 2 pieces up here, aren't going to ship until, what did he tell me? I could look online. I think it's the 17th, which is Friday. So that's only a week out. I'm not in a hurry for that stuff. The Sirius antenna adapter I would really like. That says stock available. So I moved that to a new order and I added 2, 3, 4, I guess 5 items. 2 hose clamps for 50 cents a piece. There's $1. I got the oil return hoses, the upper plenum oil return hoses on this engine from the plenum back down into the pan, I suppose. The upper ones. So 2 of those, and then the oil cap. I did the oil cap. We're doing the E46M3 oil cap simply because it's really nice. Like I messed with Luke's and it turns on there twice as tight and it rotates a lot more and it creates a much better seal and it feels better and I can get past the look for that. How often do I stare at my engine? Only when I'm fixing it. So 2 orders. The guy said Matt from ECS said it would ship tonight and it means I should have it tomorrow. The Sirius splitter and some miscellaneous hardware that I won't be able to use till the rest of it comes in next Saturday. So no hurry for the rest of it, but for an extra $3 or $4 in shipping, I'll have more of it tomorrow. So I'll be able to do the serious DIY tomorrow. So ever since I got the iPhone 6, I've been having some issues with syncing music. And about 3 hours of fighting, I think it was yesterday, seems to have corrected it, at least for the time being. I don't know what happens when I'll try to sync more music. Here was my issue. So I'd open up iTunes, plug the iPhone in, you know, select what playlists, artists, genres, whatever I want to sync to it, and sync it over. And the initial sync when I first got the phone worked. Everything was there, it was in order. Now, over the course of a week or two, I would buy a couple more songs or drag them in from somewhere else and move them into a playlist, and I keep things sorted by date added, and then I want to put them on here, right? So I pull out my handy dandy lightning cable, plug that in, and punch sync. And the first time it would say everything went through and it all synced, and I'd come on my phone and go to where I'm expecting to see my new music, and it wasn't there. Oh, dick, why isn't it there? So I'd go back and sync it again, and that didn't work. And after about the third sync attempt, I would have iTunes get stuck on waiting for items to copy. Sometimes it would get stuck on that, and then finishing sync, step 8 of 8. It would get caught on that. And sometimes I would be on step 9 of 8, which you can't have, step 9 of 8. Totally dicked. So I tried reinstalling iTunes, just rewriting the application files, not the data files. That didn't do anything. I restored my phone, rebuilt my phone. That didn't work. And then when I was able to get my music on the second time after I restored it, I would come in here, let's say into this album, and let's just hit shuffle. And we're in my old people music, but it would shuffle through 40 songs that it couldn't play, and then it would, like this, and then it would finally get to a song that it can play, and it would play it fine. But then when you go back, it would go back, realize it can't play, and go immediately back to the next one. Then you would go back to the album view, and it would delete all the songs that it couldn't play. So an album of, say, 500 songs would turn into an album of 15 songs real quick, because so many of them wouldn't play. You come over here, you hit sync, it doesn't move anything over, it doesn't work. So my thought process was, let's uncheck the sync music box, have it delete everything, and re-sync everything. And it wouldn't, it would just get stuck. So yesterday I completely annihilated my library. I made a time machine backup to start with. I removed iTunes using the App Zapper application and deleted absolutely everything. There was no trace of iTunes or any music on the computer. I reinstalled iTunes from apple.com. Dragged all my music back in, then it didn't know any of the date added dates, and I sort by that, so that isn't good enough. So then I restored my whole iTunes directory of 71 gigabytes off of a time machine backup. Synced, it's all here and it all plays. I have not added any more music in the last 24 hours to be able to see if it will continue to sync and update this library. If it doesn't, I will be very pissed off, and I'll have to do this process every couple weeks to keep this thing up to date. If it does, then my problem is solved. Now, sorry for a 3-minute clip, but if any of you have had that issue and have found a way to permanently fix it, please let me know. Obviously a software issue, and it definitely seems to be on the iTunes side of things. My concern is that my library file, the XML that keeps all the information for when the track was added to the library, and I don't think it has too much metadata, but it does know the date added information and where to go and find that file in a file system hierarchy. If that file is corrupt, if that file is the problem, that means I need to totally re-import, rename, re-album art, everything. And with a 4,000 song archive, it just isn't possible. So, I don't know, I'll keep you up to date with that. So let me know if you guys have any solutions, or Bobby has the same issue, so it's not only me. And I go around and look online and everybody's just like, oh, just reinstall iTunes. No, that didn't work. So I just watched 2 episodes of Dexter. It was good to get back in that. I haven't since last week. Season 3 is definitely a little slower, but I feel like the first 2 seasons, they were really trying to prove themselves that they had a show. And now that they've got a little bit of time on their lease, if you will, they can bring in new people and really develop things a lot further. So it'll be exciting to see where they take that. It is 12:38. I did about 3.5 hours of studying for tomorrow's math exam. It's gonna suck, it's a pain in the ass, but I think we'll do okay. That's the only thing I really need to do tomorrow academically. A couple quizzes and other things due later this week that we'll take care of in due time. But that's tomorrow. I didn't anticipate on mowing today. It doesn't look like I'm going to be able to tomorrow. There's a lot of storms out over Illinois right now that are going to make their way east and probably have a deluge tomorrow. So we'll get that exam done, we'll come back. If I can mow, I will. Probably not. So The package from ECS shipped with the antenna splitter, so maybe we'll be able to poke around with the 330 and some Sirius XM tomorrow and see if we can't wire up an antenna in there and get that working. But that's going to be it. I'm going to get upstairs, get a shower, take care of the emails, and watch later playlist, and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow on Tuesday. Good night.